Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7, 3 FM.
Sports team in the country. Get interactive with us across all social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 3SportsGH.
All right, so it's time for another epic show right here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Thierry Nyan. And this is Sports Ultras. Of course, this week presents a fine opportunity to discuss several happening in the world of sports. And I'm talking about the Black Stars. How they fared just a couple of days ago against Angola in Kumasi. How was the pitch? And some of these players that we thought would do better. Inaki Williams, what's happening to him? As Samajan says, we should give him time. He says he needs only a first goal. I don't know if my pundits will agree. Andre Ayew, what's happening to him? Not part of the squad and yet part of the squad. Finally, officially not part of the squad. The other squad, I mean. And also there's updates from the Black Meteors as well. We'll be speaking to the Vice President of the Ghana Football Association. It's all happening right here on Sports Ultras. Like I told you, you don't want to miss this. We'll give you a chance to also share your thoughts when we open the phone lines and when we access your messages on social media as well. And then we'll discuss Nigeria. Chelsea fans, turn away. Thomas Tuchel is no more for you. If you harbor dreams of sacking Potter and reinstating Tuchel, well, it's not going to happen. He's seen greener pastures. And Ronaldo and Messi will just not give the youngsters any time to shine. They are still stealing every bit of the limelight. So we'll look at that and then several others right here on Sports Ultras. And remember, Charlotte and Predictor will also come on later in the show. So let's get down right into it. But before we do that, remember, you can always, follow the updates. If you were leaving your radio somewhere at home, you can monitor on Facebook Live. You remember, you have to just search 3FM 92.7 on Facebook, and it's streaming live there. Also, we are on Twitter. We have a Twitter space currently running. You can enjoy the show there as well. Just look out for 3SportsGH. And I'm in the studio with Yao Ofosulabi. Yao, good evening. Your day. Anyway, of course, no Manchester United, so there's nothing to worry about. But there's there's Zinchenko still playing for Ukraine and struggling.
Yeah.
So I won't give you the chance to talk about Bukayo Saka. Saka. So back to Saka.
What a way to start the show, man.
Oh, we love it.
Anyway, guys, clap for Thierry. Another one. Oh, Thierry.
I disclaimer, that wasn't me. I was possessed. I was possessed. Producer says that the moment I grab, the phone lines currently are buzzing. I don't know what they want. When we open the phone lines, you can call. Right now, we are engaged. By the time you open the phone lines, you may have forgotten. Back to Saka. I'm saying that I won't give you the chance to talk about Saka when there's Zinchenko shine.
No, but you have to give me the opportunity because right now I'm going by the name Bukasios. Bukasio, that's me. That's me, Bukasio.
Aniela Bukasio.
Every week, I'll give you another name.
So this weekend, Bukasio.
Not weekend, the entire week from Sunday straight.
Unfortunately, we have 3 Arsenal fans.
Gather together, brothers. Gather together, brothers.
You know, it's international weekend, you know that.
Yeah,
exactly. But Arsenal, we are still on the score sheet.
In
with
my
the goal
intro,
and an
I
assist.
actually forgot about Morocco. Morocco. They're doing wonders, aren't they? Yeah. We'll get there. But for now, it is the Black Stars. It be fluke, eh?
They play Brazil's whatever.
It looks like anything Africa does, money for exchange hands. Anything good. Money
be
for
like then
exchange
give them good treatment because see, before the game starts, Anthony they can't do warm up. Then they do in full extent, you know. That in 360.
But it is warm up.
That one be warm up.
Because you know they warm up plus.
No. The bass for here. No. This be heavy bass. Hey! Anthony no day warm up plus. So the fool for warm up.
Yeah. Before come.
Kawa cannot come. But anyway, guys, let's get serious now. So Black Stars. We all know what happened against Angola. We're not going to talk about the scoreline, but about some of the details. And I'll start with the Arsenal contingent here. What happened to Partey? Is it because he came with a physio?
You know, when you are given a very sound environment.
Wow.
You are given players.
This English, I know hear some before from.
Yeah, very sound environment. if you're being complimented by players who understand the way you play, and then you are being given that opportunity to be relaxed, be the sole man in midfield, and then you are given a player who is not going to cut for himself a plot of land, a space to stay in.
But will run everywhere.
Yes. Give other options. It gives you that liberty, that freedom to excel, to play like Thomas Partey does. And he ensured that the Black Stars had a party, a partacious performance. On Thursday, it was for the deputy captain of the senior national team, the best midfielder in the world. So it wasn't even a surprise. That wasn't even an A game because there was no Saka to give him that run. There was not any Martinelli to give him that quick run into the box to feed him that opportunity. There was no Edin Ketia. There was no Granit Xhaka to give him that spacing to allow him to fluidly release the balls up front. So I think it's just even 10% of what he's capable of. Just relax in our subsequent games. If Joseph Paisel and the likes are on their A game, Partey will be on an acceleration that is going to hit 70 or 80% for the Black Stars.
Terry, exactly.
Just relax. Calm down for Jesus.
You know, Kelvin spoke about he being given the liberty to play like a professional, but not liberty professionals. Yeah, but you know that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. So I'll just count it. But there will be more next week. But very honestly, this is the party that we had wanted to see for a very long time. People were always asking, is this the party that plays for us now? Is this the party? Are we going to see him give that same commitment to the Black Stars? And we saw it there. He just shone in the limelight a little bit, and it was really beautiful, very adoring just to look at. But I think that props also have to go to our defense. A while back, we were talking about how we thought the defense was going to be problematic. They didn't really give us that much of a threat, but I think that not kudos, but I had to go back to the defense because that was amazing. But Nyaki, me I tell you about last week or when we started the show, see Nyaki, me I know this it all.
Oh,
I know this.
But Loki, Thomas Partey, he play boss of somebody no did the team inside.
Oh, really?
Somebody.
No, so bring a high key. Who?
Oh,
review.
Clapping man.
They say Kwamaster no there.
The person in the clap plenty, you know. He know the
Jamal leader no there.
Me, I don't know who be that. Jamal leader. If we Bani.
I don't know.
Yeah, Bani no there.
Oh, how I feel Bani?
I know be okay. Who? Tell you.
The person they say he get ambano.
Who?
They say,
but you know
right now, then go dog Andre.
Okay.
Andre Ayew. You've been referring to Andre Ayew all this while.
Oh yes.
Andre Ayew.
Now who they clap
El Capitano.
Who they clap us?
Hey, the captain of the team.
How did Andre's absence positively affect Partey?
Andre.
Yeah.
See, if Andre is on the pitch, he will occupy so much space and not move.
Exactly.
On Johnny, he can't run, he can't move.
Okay, we'll get to Andre later. Yeah. Black Stars.
So I mean, I think that this week we saw that midfielders are important, and that it is not just about strikers.
Yeah.
There's a team that has 8 strikers and they couldn't score a goal. They lost to Guinea-Bissau. Because they don't have midfielders.
They don't
have midfielders.
Yeah.
And midfielders are an important part of today's game.
Yeah.
And we saw it with Ghana.
Yes.
Thomas Partey orchestrating things in midfield.
Yes.
Salis.
Yes.
Also in there.
Yes.
Even with Edmond Addo, who wasn't
bad
on his best day, played out a good game. And so this is a message to everyone who thinks that they have the best striker in the world, that if you can have the best striker in the world, but if you don't have midfielders, the striker cannot score. And that's what we are seeing with a certain team that we beat them last year to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar, where they couldn't make it. They lost to Guinea-Bissau. Let's pray for them that they will make.
Oh, we need to pray for Nigeria.
Yeah, so that let's pray for them, because it doesn't look like they will make AFCON 2024.
Already,
so we have to
my jollof no good.
I don't know.
No. That's a very serious.
Yeah, no, it's not looking likely. See, I joined the Twitter space and they were complaining so much. I mean, they said Iheanacho is lazy. Me, I don't know, but they said Iheanacho is lazy. and as for Osimhen, they can't blame him because best striker in the world. They can't blame him.
If you joke, he'll come and play.
So they said Iheanacho is lazy, and but I mean, like Lookman, Emmanuel Dennis, Chukwueze, whatever. They can't score. They can't score goals. They can't score goals. They made a Rasta man in Ghana score.
Yes.
1-0 and 3 points.
Rastaman scored.
Yeah, Rastaman scored. I mean,
Rastaman Semino.
He's one of the few Rasta men that I love.
God, no, they like Rastaman.
No. The thing is, anyone listening to us who does not know Kawa's stance on Rastamen in football, he says all Rastamen,
they don't get sense.
No,
are useless on the pitch.
Antoine Semenyo, Gideon Mensah, and Joseph Pinto best.
Kawa has mentioned 3 Rastamen in one team. All of them are good.
Yeah, they are good. All of them are good. But aside from them, I don't, because there's a Rastaman who started for Nigeria and they lost.
Yes.
Alex Iwobi. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good. He's not an Arsenal player anymore. So what are you doing?
So what are you doing?
No. Ghana always in Ghana. Let's just
wait. Ayobi, if you trust that guy, your hand go fall. Madam. Your hand it go fall. Make you
no
Anyway, some people collect 3, so you choose.
Yeah.
Some people collect 3.
Some people collect 3 for our own league inside. Them collect 3. Own goal, then I don't know, but I be like Emmanuel, Usubuachi, then Richard Beck. I don't know them.
You don't know them.
I don't know them, but I know say them score way Yadum. Yadum, so I don't know how he go enter somebody in score sheet. But
It be somebody in score.
somebody should not be own.
No be own.
But he did it.
As he said, I'm going to pass.
But Kawa, he be your guy with that.
Who that?
Yeah, Dom.
So one thing about Kunedu Yadom is that I just hope that the Hearts fans will be honest with the young boy who's coming through.
Okay.
That he is not that good.
Oh.
No, seriously. No, you see the thing about
Facing reality.
we are facing reality.
Yeah.
The thing about Hearts of Oak and Kotoko is that when you are playing for any of these two teams, you get a lot of buzz. The fans are very loud about your abilities. Like for instance, Kotoko have Richmond Lamptey, right? Who's like a really good player. Hearts also have some really good players. I mean, Barnier played for them, and we all saw what Barnier did for them in the time that he was there. But let's be honest with ourselves. Kunedu Yadom is not at the level where Hearts fans would want to put him. We saw him at the Chan. We are seeing him in the Ghana Premier League. There's several mistakes that you can't be so consistent. These are the same consistent mistakes that we blame Harry Maguire for. And every time everybody says, Harry Maguire, there was some. But you can't tell Kunedu Yadom that was some. He's not good. Please, let's Hearts of Oak fans need to calm down about this boy's abilities. When he gets good, we will mention it. If you are not good,
But for now,
he's a rash defender.
Okay.
So rash, goes into tackles like, hey, man, I'm hurting. Hey, let me get no. That's not.
You know they work.
Sometimes you have to relax. Sometimes it doesn't. See, I'm sure the Hearts fans, some of them have seen it, but because it's their player, they can't say it. Me, I don't support Hearts. I don't support Kotoko. I support Oko United. So I can say whatever I want about these two teams' players. If you come for me that Oko is in the 3rd division, I already know. I already know that. But that's still my team. So that's...
all right, but guys, I mean, back to the Black Stars, and we'll now look at the first game for Chris Hughton. A lot of people couldn't wait to see him in the dugout because a lot of people clamored for him even before Otuado. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, all the noise around, it should be Hughton and not Ado. It should be Hughton and not Ado. And how the GFA wanted their man and they got their man. Governments have their man. But in the end, he's a man for Ghana now. And this was his first game. I thought it wasn't entirely convincing for a lot of aspects of the game. But then again, we still won. Some people look at that and say, well, it was still a goal, it was still the winner. That's all you wanted anyway. If it came in the first minute or on the 9 minutes of the game, you still got it. But it wasn't convincing. I'll start with you, Yao, this time. It wasn't convincing.
It wasn't convincing, and rightfully so. I mean, people would say that he took over as technical director and now he's coach. He should do better than that, which is agreed. But I feel like
it's a first game.
No, it's a first game. I understand. There's a lot of pressure, and you see, the thing is that sometimes we steal credits from the opponents. And I think that Angola came in and played a really good game. Okay. Because you hardly see teams come to Kumasi and play as well as the Angolans did. And I think that's one thing we need to commend them for. But beyond that, we are Ghana. We do not want to play in a certain way or lose games or draw certain games in a certain way, particularly in Kumasi where the team has not lost in a very long time. And so it's good that Chris Hughton was able to start with a win. It's good that they scored in the 9 minutes of the game. It brought a lot of buzz to our qualification and stuff like that, which is great. But I also feel that Chris Hughton has a team that is still relatively young. Now, Thierry, when we went to AFCON 2020, AFCON last year, and we took the team we took to that AFCON. Yeah, I mean, I think 10 or 12 of those players are not there anymore. Yeah, we went to the World Cup, and then we had just 2 players who have tasted World Cup before. You understand? Now we are playing qualifiers, and many of these players have never played in AFCON qualifiers before. And so there's still some way to go to get them into their stride. Semenyo was playing at Babayara for the first time. Iñaki at Babayara for the first. Even Mohamed Kudus at Babayara for the first time.
Oh yeah.
You understand? And so all of these things would count in just how they would play and perform. So I just feel like we need to give Hughton some time. The thing is, after one game, you can't just begin to load the gun We just need to wait.
Okay.
There's a game in Angola. Let's see how that game fares.
Okay.
I mean, I honestly feel like we might draw that game in Angola.
Okay.
But if we win, I think that it will be really good for us. That way, it gives us a chance to qualify for AFCON.
Yeah.
And then the last
would have CR and Madagascar to play
exactly.
again.
And those last 2 games, we can actually start trying out certain players in certain areas to see.
Like who?
Oh no, I mean, we still have a young team. I mean, there's Ransford Yeboah, who can come in. Semenyo can finally start a game so that we see him properly. Kamal Soa can play. So that Majida Shimeru can play. So we still have a number of players who have a long way to go in terms of feeling what national team football is. And so let's make sure we win that game against Angola. And then going forward, CAR Madagascar, we can try out these players, build a good team, and head to AFCON. Because, look, I mean, Morocco are very eager to win AFCON.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't win it next year...
Extremely eager.
If they don't win it next year, they are trying to host it in 2025, which they would do whatever they can to win. And so we just need to go in there with our best foot forward. Okay. I mean, all talk about Nigeria, but if Nigeria can find a really good rhythm, they would be devastating.
Currently, they can't.
I mean, exactly, they can't, which is good for me. but if they find a really good rhythm, it's going to be devastating. Ivory Coast, we are not looking too much at Ivory Coast, but they are looking like a danger side. Senegal are going to come in trying to defend the title, and many other teams. I mean, South Africa, I don't know if they would qualify.
Senegal.
But many of these countries are coming in with their best foot forward. So Ghana needs to try out a lot of players. We can't go into AFCON and give someone their first cap at AFCON. Please. So let's just try to play them now so that they will have a feel of it. We are saying Iñaki is not scoring, and it's all because the midfielders have not played with him long enough to know where to play the pass or where he's going to run into and what channel he's going to run into and stuff like that. It will all take time, and that's why we need to give a lot of these players a chance.
All right, so giving these players a chance, Kelvin.
Well, Terry, I think I wasn't too much surprised with the difficulty we found ourselves in that game. And if you look at the last time we even faced the Angolans, when we had arguably some of the best players in the world at that time, Koja Samoa, Andre was at his peak after winning the Under-20 World Cup. We had players performing, Emmanuel Ajaman Bedru, Rabiu Mohammed, Samuel Lincoln was playing very well. Samuel Jan was just magical in those times. But I think at this point in time, it was going to be a bit difficult for Chris Hughton, especially with the style of play that they adopted during the World Cup. So he totally had to make a quick change. We were overly defensive during the World Cup, and we could all see it. But this time around, you could see he wanted to play a more advanced football. And the reason why... And
it's not typically his style, really.
Yes. And I think he's an experienced coach, and he's looked at the materials that he has. That if I have these materials in the African continent, and he fairly knows the Angolan team well, all because of their coach, who is also more like a developer and would want to keep the ball. So you could see anytime the Angolans had the ball, they wanted to play that fluid football, pass around, build slowly from the blocks, and then we use our players with the skill to also operate. So you could see Partey was just himself in the midfield, isolated there, and then Edmond Addo pushed forward a bit. Mohamed Kudus wasn't stuck just behind Iñaki Williams, but he was moving around, though there was a bit of difficulty for him because the Angolans, yes, the Angolans had 2 or 3 players every time at him that the ball was passed to him. So it couldn't really bring the very best out of him. So let's see, he's realized the shortfalls, and I even think during the post-match interview, he admitted that a lot of the opportunities that he felt we could have been more prudent with our decision-making in the final third. It wasn't so, and we could have finished the game off in the first half. Probably some of our players should also be taking the blame, because if you play everything and you don't add goals to your game, you're absolutely nothing. Trust me, if you put Bukayo Saka's performance this season and Erling Haaland, who has been the better player overall in general play? I think Saka has been, but Haaland is top there, all because of the goals, because he will not miss the opportunities. He doesn't care whichever style he's going to get the ball.
Five touches, 3 goals. Exactly.
He doesn't care, however, how much touches he's going to have, but all he needs to do is to get the ball into the net.
More assists.
Yes. So players like Kamaldeen should be looking more at getting us a lot of balls on target, and then at least scoring more goals, because they seem to be the outlets where the goals are going to come from in the next couple of games that we are going to witness. That is if our more central attacking players are limited to a very short space. I'm not down. I think Houghton understands the game. He knows it better. And with the decision that he took on Wednesday and Thursday, that resulted in some people deciding to leave the game on Saturday, traveling with the team on Saturday, saying they are injured, even though they had the recovery session on Friday. We'll question that, but I think Houghton is going to do us a lot of good.
So, I mean, with this particular game, one major concern, of course, that I think the players will also have is the quality of the pitch. I mean, overall, the Black Stars lost possession 87 times.
87
times. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if for everyone who was watching the game, someone would try and give a long pass, it won't find his man. Even a short pass will not find his man. The ball is just bouncing anyhow. So you could see that even though the pitch looked green before the start of the game. In fact, it wasn't really...
We'll talk about the pitch, actually.
It wasn't really good. But apart from that, of course, Calvin mentioned that some players have to take the blame for the team not scoring as many goals as expected, because the team played 20 shots, 9 on targets, just 1 goal. Someone like Kamaldeen, he was dribbling for fun, completed about 8 dribbles in that game, but his shooting, my word, he needs to work on it.
I don't think it was just about the shooting. I think it was his final decision.
I think the final passes has been a problem for him this season. Even at Southampton, he dribbles a lot, gets into good spaces, but the final pass always falls short, and he needs to work on that really.
Yeah, he does. And you see the substitutions that were brought in, like Joseph Pinto, like Osman Bukari, it kind of changed the dynamic. Antoine Semenyo, the kind of runs he was making, it kind of changed the dynamic. And as Kawa said earlier, I mean, we do have to try the other players because we have a fantastic kind of forward line that can score goals. Joseph Pinto is one. He can score goals. Okay. Osman can also score goals.
Yeah, so my question then is that someone like Osman, why is he not starting? Because every time he comes in,
he does well.
Yeah. At the World Cup, we saw him.
Or assisting.
At what time did he come into the game?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then
And he scored.
His impact was felt instantly.
So then that begs the question: what's the obsession with Inaki Williams?
Oh, it's not just him.
Well, who again?
That guy who scored 5 goals.
The ball holder.
That guy who has scored 5 goals in 3 years.
This guy, because your agenda,
Bill, he like trouble too much. But honestly, Terry, I think kudos would definitely have to go to some of the fans at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, because I think that they helped with the fighting spirit. In the World Cup, we noticed that at certain points, the Black Stars didn't look like they had something to play for anymore. The morale was down. You looked at other teams play, and then you felt that they were not going to give up until the last minute. But we saw the fighting spirit, and I believe that's where Semenyo's goal came from, because you saw that it was a little cluttered in the post before the goal finally came through, and I just think that it goes to show the kind of commitment that we had to winning the game. And again, with Chris Houghton, Bill has touched on that, some of the substitutions and the timing of it, because for the most part of the first half, and then I think 15 minutes into the second half, we didn't really have a lot of glimmers of hope that, say, we could have been looking for to ensure that we get some goals coming in. But 69th minute, that's when Semenyo came into the game. And then look at when he scored. That's like 96th. And you mentioned the dying minutes of the game, but the hope was still there. And then we got the goal through. I think that some of the substitutions were really great, again, with Payne still and some other guys coming in. But I think maybe we don't need to wait that long to like have the effect felt in the game, because I want to see the Black Stars score 2, 3, 4 goals in the game. I'm tired of this 1-0, 1-1, that kind of scoreline. Even with the scorecard, I even said 2-1. I knew Bill was setting me up. I just was like, let me just go with this 2-1, and ended up at 1-0. I was happy with the win, but I want to see a more convincing victory. We are bringing back the love. We are building the hope. We need to ensure that we're getting things done the right way. We need to instill some sort of fear in our team, so that people going into games, they also fear us. They also know that the Black Stars are lethal.
Senegal scoring 4 goals in one
Look at that.
half.
Yeah.
Look at that. In one half. In one half. Meanwhile, first half comes way into the second half, and then last minutes we scored. We're happy with it though, but I think that we can do way better than we are doing currently.
But I think also that we shouldn't forget the fans in Kumasi.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
that it's an impressive.
It was beautiful to look at some of the stands.
No, I mean, and also given the fact that we saw attendance levels across the continent, and it didn't match anything.
I saw
like
South
Ghana's.
Africa's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, it didn't match anything like Ghana's. So I mean, kudos to you guys. I mean,
We have that have that in the pictures now.
Yeah, the thing is,
it was massive.
It's beautiful.
The thing is, it's always going to be, the Black Stars is all we have. They would break your hearts. They would, whatever they do, it's the only team we can actually hit our chest and say we own. It's the only time we can all unite as a country. And so let's just keep supporting and then keep helping these boys. I know that they're going to win. They're going to win something soon, and hopefully.
We'll be here for
Kawa
it,
says
we'll be
soon.
here for it.
Prophet Ajara Gaguja.
Why don't I talk something, it be true?
What's that?
I don't want to talk about some of the prophecies, but let me just say if Kawawa talk something, be true.
It be true, eh?
It be true.
It is
see things for some realms.
Kawawa has officially prophesied on Sports Ultras that Ghana will win a trophy soon. Soon.
I'm telling you, soon.
Because sometimes then they support some players. Kawawa told me say make a Sean. This as 2018. No, I'm not sure I support that way I see myself. Next time, make a come.
Kelvin.
Well, Terry, I think with the goal scoring issue, many things that Iñaki isn't cut out for the team, but it's all because most of our players always want to get on the score sheet because they've been banging in the goals elsewhere. So it's been tough, or let's say he hasn't been looked at so much, especially with his runs. And I think, as Samojan said during the friendlies and before the World Cup, and even at the World Cup, that we should have a player who would really understand Iñaki's style, so that every time he has the ball, he'll just look at the run of Iñaki and then make the pass. There are times you see Iñaki running. I think there are a couple of times that Kudus and Kamaldeen played the ball between themselves for about 2 minutes, two great opportunities, which if they had decided to just make a simple pass to Iñaki, they would have possibly had a shot on target. So you can see Iñaki is desperate to have a shot on target. So anytime he does, it's always a lame effort or a team effort, and then goalkeeper just picks it up with ease.
I'm not feeling the desperation.
But also,
yes,
I saw Iñaki get a couple of chances, not half chances.
I think he's also not
to do better, even if he's not going to bury them.
He's also not helping himself, because there are times you even pass the ball to him, his control, and then the ball moves away from him. Fine enough.
We saw that in the World Cup a few times.
Yes, we complain about our pitch, but I think he should man up, and we should also make our players understand that connection. Back in 2010, Jan did not excel at the World Cup and then the African Nations Cup because he was Asamoah Gyan. It was because there was a Kojo Asamoah, there was Mubarak Wakasu, who could just realize that Jan is on the move. Let me just hit the ball to him. Jan picks it up and then he scores. So we should also have that sort of chemistry between players. If we do have it, bingo, we are good to go.
Bingo. Remember, the Black Stars will play against Angola once again tomorrow. It's in Luanda, and that particular game, it will be the second leg of this particular tie. It's a reverse fixture, and Ghana currently sit top of the group with 7 points. Angola are third, I think, with 4 points. CAR overtook them.
Because
also
of
on
goals,
4 points.
Sure.
So by virtue of goals. Antoine Semenyo, Wunyame Yedawase, why? Yes, Anka, we are singing a different story today.
If you can remember, we spoke about our defense. I think we still have a lot to do if we want to win a major tournament. They always say that defense would always win you titles.
Yeah.
And I think our defense still
Did we have a weak link there over there?
I think Jiku will be absent though, but I think there's an aspect of his game that he needs to improve. He's always ballowing the ball away. He's always kicking it away. And someone just gave it, I don't know whether it was a jovial answer, that he plays for Strasbourg. They are always under pressure.
Actually, that's
so
true.
he always kicks the ball away.
But one thing I've also realized is Amate is always looking to pass from the back, to build an attack right from the back.
Yeah.
But 60% of the time missing his passes.
Exactly. And I think with his passing, he can just go for the simple pass to a central defensive midfielder. But he's always looking at playing through the channel and finding someone like Kudus.
Do you remember against Uruguay?
Yes. When he gave a couple away.
Yes. So, and one of them led to, I think, Salisu cleared that ball.
Yes.
But it was almost a goal.
Yes.
And I think at that time, the Black Stars were all, nervous. There was a lot of, anxiety in the team. But it as a senior player, it comes back to you, because you then need to take responsibility, especially in
I think he's
times.
good, but he's always overdoing it. So there are times,
especially
he gets
on bad
caught
pitches.
in the web.
Yeah, I mean,
even at Leicester, there are times you see he tries to overdo things and then he gets caught in the web.
So we have a defender who balloons, we have a defender who passes, and both of them are wasting the
yes,
ball.
and our next option hasn't convinced us enough.
Who?
Joseph Edu. And tomorrow he's the one going to play.
Yeah. Salisu is still out.
Yeah, he's not going to play. So
Jerry,
Joseph Edu is playing
I
tomorrow.
say it be sake of Kweku Flake. He talks say sport the back mate, but he not give interpretation to the sport the back. It could mean make sure everything aligns or destroy the back or destroy the back. So
Kweku
you have
Flake.
to be Kweku Flake.
No. I think at this point I need to get to the police headquarters. We need to let them know officially.
Building for this, so you will carry me good.
We need to just officially notify them that you only come here for sports ultras and we pay you for that. You are not a part of the team. Because the things I never they talk for here. Sport the back mate.
Gun to the victory glove. Say,
But also, Andre Ayew has been forced out, and so we know that Andre isn't playing, Salisu isn't playing, Jiku isn't playing. Who else?
I think they are four.
Yeah,
They are
so
four.
I mentioned three.
Dennis Odoi is also out.
Dennis Odoi is out. Tariq Lamptey is out,
Yeah.
as we all know
Yes.
already. So who starts at right back?
Kingsley Schindler.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
the
then
29-year-old from
and
Cologne.
and then the centre back options will then become
It's going to be
Amate,
Amate and then Joseph Edu, likely.
Gideon Mensah
Gideon
maintains his
Mensah
position.
still at left back. And him,
Atizigi is still starting in post.
Yes.
Well,
I think
is
he
still
should
not
be in
recovered.
there. I think Ati, by virtue of his confidence, he should be in there.
He's more comfortable with the ball at his feet. I saw glimpses of it.
So are we saying that
against
officially Wallacott should be out as
Oh
number
no,
one?
not yet.
You know, when it comes to shot stopping, the
It's
two
Wallacott.
are not convincing.
But
the
Wallacott
two.
is better small.
The two are not convincing. But if you add the advantage of being able to play with the feet, that is where Ati, and because of Ati's stature for the African game, thankfully, Mbala Nzola is going to miss this game. So, yes, at least we can have that liberty. But Ati has that advantage of being able to play with his feet and also with that, stature. So I think that gives him the added advantage. And, just like we've been saying it, our defense is a problem, and the goalkeeper forms part of the defense. When Morocco are playing, they don't care about Roman Sai's agent because they know I have Yassine Bono, who is a top goalkeeper for me. You get it? They don't care about it.
And the thing is, I mean, also about the goalkeeping. How good is the communication between the goalkeeper and the defenders?
Yeah.
I mean, at the World
There's
Cup,
no authority.
At the World Cup, you saw Yassine Bono.
He had that authority.
And every top-notch goalkeeper has that.
Yes.
You need to know how to communicate.
Is that what Atizigi does to his backline?
No.
And those are some of the things that we
But
need to
ever
check.
since Atizigi conceded that number of goals, you haven't trusted him.
No.
no.
They're just
I mean,
You haven't trusted him. You haven't trusted him. Since then.
But
you haven't trusted
But is he a goalkeeper you can trust?
No, I'm just saying that we've used him more.
Every time Ghana has gone into a tournament very confident, especially at the back, we've had a reliable goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Either Olele, Richard Ofori. We've had Adam Lassen Kwara say, "Oh, senior man in So our very own Michael Oti-Ejay has joined us in studio. Me Kankasa.
I hate to be speaking plenty, bro.
Plenty.
And I never knew Aniela could be animated.
She is extremely animated, extremely. But I mean,
I
you're
also
here.
told her that very soon she would go quiet for a very long time.
No. That's not happening. That's happening. I've discussed with Thierry. I've discussed some plans
I'm
with
on the
Thierry.
same page with the
We'll bring the title to Ghana. I tell you already, make you no do
Oh,
that.
the Zoom conversation with Wenger.
Yeah. Wenger, then Arteta, then Saka. Yeah.
But yeah, Michael Oti-Ejay is here with us. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
First time joining us here.
Yeah, I was in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I've been in the neighborhood for the last 4 hours.
Were you with Kamala Harris?
No.
Because she's in the neighborhood.
I was making sure that Kamala Harris was well represented in our bulletins.
Yeah. It's very important. Anyway, we're discussing the Black Stars. Since you're here, the man who has all the information about the Black Stars.
No, I don't.
But yeah, I mean, how did you see the game against Angola? How was it for you?
I thought it was as flat a start as you could have, but flat doesn't mean bad. It was okay. It was I think this was a bit of an odd debut. This was a man who had seen the team through his phases and all that. I also think that when you are put in charge of anything, you use the first opportunity to sort of lay down a marker and say, this is who I am, this is what I mean going forward. Yeah. These are my barriers and the rest. You can't get all that through in the first game. But I thought that with the call-ups, with the decisions that were made during the game, that maybe Chris Hughton put down his marker on the team as well as he could have. It wasn't in the way the team played. I am expecting Chris Hughton's Black Stars not to be free-flowing and that sort of thing. I think he's first and foremost a very cautious coach.
Yes.
And he himself, when a coach tells you that, the point is to win and not how you win, he's telling you something. But I thought the calls that he made, the big calls, I'm always particular about that, because I was lucky to be within the inner perimeter, and I saw a lot of the things that happened from where I was sitting. I thought the call to drop Andre Ayew was an incredibly bold call. You have to understand the history and the politics of the Ghana team and a lot of things. I was even more intrigued as we headed into the 70th minute and we're still not winning. So I see him signal to a number of players to come across, and I'm expecting to see DEDE, and I don't see DEDE. Yeah. I thought that was an even bigger statement. So in that moment where you need a goal, full stadium, the heat was mad, the tension was rising, he still didn't trust his captain with a century of caps to come in and change things. And that for me was a big call. It was almost as if he's saying that, look, I am very determined to do this and to sort of lay down a marker, and full marks to him. I think on that score, he's literally told the whole squad that regardless of who you are, who your name is, what you've done in the past, you are not getting into this team until I decide that. Yeah. And I think it's important because I've said it 2,000,001 times. And just before the game, what's this young guy's name? Afenajan gave us reason to debate the entitlement mentality within the Black Stars even more. I think too many times people are expecting to go into the national team and then expecting that merely because they've scored one goal in the past or have served great, they will get in at all costs. So I thought it was good. I thought it was important, but a lot of things will change. It's obvious to me, and I had not watched the Black Stars live for a very long time. Yeah. Maybe I didn't understand just how much Kudus means to this national team. But in the first half, I was behind the goalpost. And whenever a corner kick came, there was a section of the stadium. When he comes across, the whole stadium just goes in unison. Kudus. Yeah. And this was just for mere corner kicks. Yeah. In the first 15 minutes, whenever he touched the ball, there was a chorus of his name inside the stadium. And I like to see that sort of thing because he almost has an Abedi Pele-like effect. There were things that I liked. I liked Thomas Partey. We've criticized him an incredible lot, but I thought he played his best game for Ghana. I don't know what it means that he played his best game for Ghana when Andre Ayew wasn't in. I think they are. And every time I've seen Thomas Partey play well, it's when he's captain. Not necessarily, and that means effectively Andre isn't on the pitch. I think basically that a lot of the time, maybe it's just the system we play, who is up front, who is not. Are we a more balanced team in the way that we set up? There were things that I didn't like. I didn't like Kamaldeen Suleiman's insistence on then doing this great work down the flank and then cutting back in and 9 out of 10 times shooting over the bar. So that was a problem, but it was fun. And I like Kumasi. Yeah, Kumasi. It gave you the buzz, I'm sure. So it was incredible. Look, it took me back to covering qualifiers when we went to the World Cup. This was almost Ghana versus Egypt kind of crowd. Okay. It was Ghana versus Nigeria, but I saw Ghana versus Egypt. And this was stranger to me because we were playing against Angola. Yeah. It was not Nigeria. It was not Egypt. There were tales of how people forced their way into the stadium, but it was intense. And it was 4:00 on a full working day. With all the traffic into the stadium. It was huge. Yeah. And actually, before we end on the Black Stars, we play against Angola again tomorrow in the reverse fixture. A number of our key players wouldn't be
presence. Salisu, Jiku is out now, Odo is out now, Andre himself is out. And so it's going to be sort of a makeshift back line, but we still have a full complement of the midfield and the attacking options that we want to rely on.
No, I'm more worried about Jiku's absence than anybody. I think Jiku is, and maybe he doesn't get the required credit. He's by far and wide the best defender we've had in a while. I would have loved Salisu to be involved. I purposefully looked for him, shook his hands and said, I like you a lot. And I like him as a player. But I think that Jiku has been the one who, the best gift Sika could give us. You know, he never flustered, always gets the right foot in, does things right, and especially away from home, he's a real asset to this team. But I think this presents a big opportunity to Joseph Edu. He's having the season of his life. This gives him the opportunity to step in. So I don't think that it will be such a big miss. I hope Amate keeps a calm head. But look, I think that we have the key elements within the team, and hopefully a player like Inaki Williams will come finally, to use a phrase and a term that I hate a lot.
What's that?
Will come to the party.
But yeah, so obviously when the Black Stars are in town, everybody comes out, and we saw that on Thursday. They're playing in Luanda, tomorrow. And any good result there, including a draw, will help us in our dreams of making another AFCON. Yeah. But what sorts of decisions would you expect Chris to make tomorrow?
I think it will be pretty much stick to a lot of the things that we did in the first game. On Thursday, look, Angola, they were pretty decent. They were old Arsenal, pass the ball around in the middle and all that without much product.
Michael, please.
Without much of a product.
Please.
Yeah.
But I want us to be the present Arsenal and do that better than them.
Okay.
The reason why I think this will be a better game is because Angola would know that they must win at all costs. It's a common thing that's said in football, but they don't have the luxury then of playing on the counter, which in the Black Stars that I've seen in recent years will be our natural comfort zone, especially away from home. Almost like when we beat Angola 1-0, it was a long time ago, but this was a typical game, 2010. Yeah. So I think potentially this could be a much better game. This is where you need a coach who is cautious, who is tactical, don't get all fussy about I must win at all costs. Make sure you don't live with defeat. And I have a feeling that it will be a pretty decent result.
Defeat. Nigeria are used to that now.
I know. Yeah, I'm going easy on Nigerians on Twitter. But Jesus, how could they lose that game? Against GB? No, but look, Guinea-Bissau has been to every Nations Cup, the last 3 Nations Cups. Yeah. So that's a country on the rise. Again, one of those countries benefiting immensely from its ties to Portugal and the rest. So they have a lot of players coming through, and they have a lot of second generation. How did you call people from Guinea-Bissau? So let me say, they have a lot of second generation players from Guinea-Bissau who
hey, nobody has ever asked me this question before.
who can get into that team. But look, I saw Nigeria, we're talking about all these great strikers, and I saw a great meme of Osimhen in Europe and Osimhen in Africa. The Osimhen in Europe is this young kid from Achim somewhere who is smiling and all happy, and then when they take the stuff away from him, the way he goes, literally the energy drops and everything. It's a meme that Michael on social media likes using a lot. But I was really shocked. We were watching that in the newsroom. Yeah. They were saying, what is happening to Nigeria? I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So I found it strange, but I think it speaks to the death of African football. The only tweet I wanted to make that I didn't make is these guys who kept telling us, how could you lose to Comoros? Yeah. We're being beaten by Guinea-Bissau and Abuja.
Yeah. So since he didn't tweet that, let's tweet it for him, okay?
So that for me was a slight complication.
Yeah.
And I think I found it. Bissau Guineans.
Bissau Guineans. So they are Guineans. They are Guineans, really.
Yeah. So you were You were doing what you were editing.
Aniela is the official researcher of the team.
Yeah, you have to. Very.
So you researcher.
Kawawa go show you my study book. I guess some study book for Oh, small.
The entire first 10 minutes, it was pidgin by Aniela. The entire time.
It's because of Kawawa. He's not giving me the right thing.
Give me a column for that. Anyway, I have to go back to my day job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Michael effectively saying is he's going to earn a salary.
Yeah, but he'll come back when Arsenal wins the league. Michael, you have to come back when we win the league.
It won't just be when Arsenal win the league.
Look, I would try and pass through here. I'm not sure the news team will be happy about that. It means I'm here on Sundays anymore. What I can promise is when that ultimate happens, you know the ultimate I'm talking about? When Man City does the thing.
They will not do anything. They will not do anything.
I will be back here. When Man City does
we will be here for them.
Arsenal does the thing. Any one of them. Arsenal can do a thing. I see Bill spying me. The only time when Arsenal win. When that famous thing happens.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you guys will win the league.
Thank you very much.
And I'm told I'm a closet Arsenal fan. I didn't know.
Oh, thank you.
But
I heard those rumors back in 2016.
yes, I support a lot of teams. But if it doesn't happen, you block me on WhatsApp.
It will happen. I cannot even think of what will happen when it does happen because it's happening. Bukayo Saka, Zinchenko, Zin. Hey. Come on. We're winning the league.
Zin. But of course, big thank you to Michael Otiaje for passing through. Always a pleasure, picking his thoughts when it comes to the Black Stars and anything sport related in this country. It's time for you to join us as well. Before we move into other segments, 0208-227290 and then 0592-928-795. I repeat, 0208-227290 and then 0592-928-795. Let us hear your voice and your thoughts on the Black Stars plus several other matters we have been discussing. In the meantime, though, McAddo has been talking. The Vice President of the Ghana Football Association. So let's take a listen to him.
Game after the World Cup, this is our first victory on the soil of Kumasi, Ghana. How would you describe this win?
It was a difficult win, but the most important thing is we have the 3 points in the bag, and we thank God for that.
To score.
I think the second half we have a more balanced team. When the changes happened, you could see that balance was more balanced, and we had control of the midfield, and then there was more. They were more precise, and of course we made a couple of chances in the first half, which if we had utilized, probably I could have changed the game. But regardless, football is 90 minutes plus whatever extra time. In this scenario, we took advantage of the chance and we won. No, I think this is a young team. As you can see, this is probably the fourth time they are playing, the fourth competitive match that you can see. So obviously, you can see. I saw a lot of positive things, from the team, from the first half to the second thing. And I think if we keep that way, if we keep playing more games, they'll get more used to themselves, and obviously the quality is already there. It's just a question of more games, to sharpen the edge as a unit. So I think that's where we need to get to.
Lastly, the crowd,
amazing. Kumasi is always, the love is deep, and we cannot thank, the crowd that came to cheer them, plus all the whole countries behind the team, and we are very grateful. And I'm sure they will make us proud when we go to Luanda on Monday.
Are we having the same game? Our next game, are we having I mean, are we going to play it here? Looking at how the crowd welcome you.
Obviously, yeah, definitely. I can say with certainty that most games likely is going to be played in Kumasi. Yeah.
Lastly, our league is not having this attendance. What really do you, the committee did well having these numbers, and we find it difficult to have the same when the league, we are playing league matches?
I think it's all about performance. I mean, people like to come and see stars. Who doesn't want to see Queens? Who doesn't want to see Semenyo? Who doesn't want to see Jordan? So every league we have to create our own stars, and the clubs have to get involved. The referees have a duty to play to protect the players. So it's a collective effort. The FA plays their part, the teams play their part, the referees play their part, and then we groom these players and we have the stars. When everybody comes and this is a star, remember the old days, Abedi Pele or Adofama or Razak, those were the days. I mean, Safu Jamfi, those, you have to create the stars for people to get excited about, and we all have to be part of it.
All right.
Mr. Makado speaking there, and of course, he is the vice president of the Ghana Football Association, talking about the game that is on Thursday when Ghana played against Angola. But we'll leave him for now. 0208-227-290, 0592-928-795. Join us and let us hear you. But for now, we are moving on. Scoreboard. We touched a little on Morocco, so I don't want us to talk about that. Would rather focus on Nigeria and their game against Guinea-Bissau. Michael had already mentioned on that. My producer says that we do debates before scoreboard. Rightly so. And today's debate: should Andre Ayew still be the spine of the Black Stars? I think that what Michael had already said, which we had mentioned here a few times, was he's maybe slowly being faded out. But is it the best decision? Who are my debaters today? Aniela?
Hey, I know the inside of Masa. Why you adding me?
Okay.
So why you adding me?
Okay, so Aniela and who?
I get news.
You get what?
I get news.
You don't get news. You don't get news.
I get news.
All right, you are starting before you go for your news.
So
Aniela is defending Andre Ayew.
Okay, who?
I am going against Andre Ayew.
Okay. So guys, if you're listening, it is Andre Ayew, and whether or not he should be the spine, continue to be the spine of the Black Stars or not. Spine could also mean captaincy. Media Maka. So, Aniela,
or what?
come again.
Is that a literal approach to interpretation or what?
Me, I don't know.
Don't come and give us your law terms.
Honestly, we get literal, we get purposive, but you make it no worry. I'll show you later.
If I go medical school, you go see terms for it.
That be why you put spine there. Come on.
Yeah. But I mean, the debate starts now. And remember, everyone has just 2 minutes to go. And Aniela, your time starts
2 minutes,
now.
10 seconds were good.
Your time has started.
After the honesty theory, I just think that we shouldn't discount everything that DEDE Ayew has done in the past. There's still a certain value that he brings to the team. Centering the team around him, fine, I understand all those who want to go against that, but I do not think that he should be completely faded out of the team because we still see some of the quality that he brings. I'm going to take us back to the World Cup. When things seemed bleak, when I think Cristiano Ronaldo had already scored in that game, he's the one who led the comeback before even Osman Bukhari scored the goal in parts of the dying minutes of the game, and he did just what he was supposed to do. Admittedly, in our game against Angola, his absence did not necessarily bring anybody down. If anything, it kind of rallied the people together, and then it led us on to a goal. But I do not think that he should be discounted or faded away just yet because his value is still felt. As Bill said, he's the clapping man, but that clapping also means morale. That clapping also means that this is somebody that would help the team in the dying minutes of the game. And so, like Yao has been saying all the time, he doesn't need to start games. He doesn't need to play a full 90 minutes. But again, even on Warm-Up Plus, Benjamin said the same thing. We can't bring him on towards the latter end of the game, the latter minutes of the game, and his contributions will still be felt. So again, I'm defending his stay, not necessarily as a spine, but the day you should still be part of the team.
She sounds like Ronaldo's sister.
Yes.
Why are you this way?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
It's a perfect comparison. You know, at a point, I needed to keep up with what she was saying.
Yeah.
Kelvin, you are against this.
Yeah. I don't think you should be part of the call.
No. Slow down. Your time starts now.
Well, Theory, I don't think Andre should still be part of the core, the spine of the Black Stars. For me, we are building a new team.
Even when the cloud is good.
Even when the cloud is good, and they would appreciate. So Theory, I still think he doesn't deserve to become one of the spine. You know, Andre has paid his dues since 2008 during the African Nations Cup in Ghana, where he was introduced into the team by Claude Leroy. I think he's done every bit. You know, every time he's proven that Andre is capable of adding a lot to the team. We know and remember the players he started playing with in the national team. Some he even started before they joined. They've all faded out. But Andre, with his patriotism and the edge to fight, has been there. One, the reason why he shouldn't be there, and I think Michael spoke about it, and we are all aware of it. He takes up a space in the team where he's not good at. Now he wants to become a master of all. I'm struggling to get the right word. He wants to be a jack of all trades, but he's a master of none. Afron, tell me which is the best position for Andre Ayew in the team now. It's when you play him as an auxiliary forward. He's not as pacey as you'd expect. He's not that creative brain in a team you'd expect to play behind the main striker. And even when he's in the team, he wants to drop too deep, which limits the opportunity of players like Partey to set forward and add to the attacking bit. For me, Andre should just be off. He's paid his dues. Number two, what we are seeing from him is he wants to do a lot more. And because of that, every time he's in a game, he is no more a team player like we used to. He always wants to go for the glory. And in building a team, we cannot do that. Back in 2010, you remember when Sula Ali Muntari was at Inter Milan before the World Cup? Tell me, which player was in our midfield who was better than Muntari playing for a Jose Mourinho team who were just on top of the world? But he was put on the bench for Andre, who was then energetic and had won the World Cup with the Ghana under-20 team to play. For me,
your time is up.
On any day, let's just allow the youth, the current best players available for us to play. You cannot bring Andre, who cannot even start at Nottingham Forest. Even when he starts, he just plays for 45 minutes to join the Black Stars and then limits the way we play. Chris Hughton has sent a signal. He sent a message, and going forward, we are going to see less of him. Andre should not just be part of this Black Star spine. He can just stay on the bench when we are winning by 4 goals, 5 goals. He can come from the bench on the 89th minute.
Tell me, your time is up. Your mic is off.
But I mean, just about. So we are talking about Andre, and you know, there's a bit of similarity with Cristiano Ronaldo, and Ronaldo has just scored for Portugal.
Really?
Ronaldo has scored. Joao Felix has scored. It's just 18 minutes. Luxembourg taking on Portugal, and this takes it to 3 goals in 2 matches for Cristiano Ronaldo, silencing the critics.
Hey, slow down. Were there critics in this studio? Because this said there.
Not necessarily this studio, but I mean,
it's been out there. Yeah. And you know the funny thing, a lot of people were talking, including me anyway, we're talking about Lionel Messi's free kick and the 800th goal, and forgetting that same night Ronaldo scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
2 goals.
One powerful free kick.
2 goals.
Yeah, one powerful free kick.
Yeah.
Anyway. The bias against Ronaldo, I'll never understand. I was telling someone over the weekend that, you know what, just enjoy the two of them play. Really. This is talent you see every 100 years. Anyway, the phone lines have been buzzing. And Omar Akatugba is also with us. Omar will join us because of Nigeria. Tell us about their problems. And possibly give us an insight into why Nigeria failed against Guinea-Bissau. He follows the team better than I do, I admit. And between the two of us, he is the one that is not so happy. Okay, Omar, just give us a second because the phone lines have been buzzing for a while. And I'll pick this one. A caller. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jeff. And I'm calling from State.
Okay, Jeff, let's hear you.
We are blessed to see Ronaldo at this playing football. We are blessed to see Ronaldo play at this place. We are blessed to see Ronaldo play at this place. And for Andre Ayew has stayed for so many years, and I think he should be out. Because the perfect person to play the number 10 position is Kudus Mohammed.
Okay.
We shouldn't be beating around the bush. You understand? Andre Ayew should be out. Jordan Ayew should be out.
But sometimes when you need the goals too, Andre gives you the goals.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
They play for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Brother, Kudus is on top of the game. You are number 10. See Thomas Partey, Watson, one of the best defensive midfielders right now in the world. You see how he plays on Thursday. I think Andre Ayew should be out.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Cristiano Ronaldo, we should put it like, bro, that guy. Oh.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have to let you go now because we have other callers on the line. And so, hello, good evening. Oh, we lost him there. But at this point, I'll go straight to Omar Katuba then. Omar, so you are on now, and good evening. I don't know if the evening is good for you anyway. So we cannot hear Omar, but we'll be working on that very, very shortly. Omar, can you hear me? Okay, Omar can hear me, but I cannot hear Omar, so I need to work on that. So, Omar Katuba, now we can hear you. Good evening, and you're welcome to Sports Ultras.
Yes, good evening.
Yes.
On your show.
we are pleased to have you here too because we want to understand Nigeria. You have Naira issues. You are buying Naira with Naira. We don't know if you have a president or not because some of you do not agree. And now your football too is a problem. So how are you guys enjoying the country?
It's a very difficult time, to be honest, and that is what was reflected in the turnout. It was a near empty stadium. Yeah. And then I put out a tweet which basically made me to understand the true situation of the country. I'm not in the country, so I may not understand how people feel and what they're going through. But that tweet gave me perspective. I put out a tweet and I said, oh, Nigerians, your passion for football is just mere talk. You couldn't turn out or turn up to support the Super Eagles. Yeah. And that is a reflection of our true passion for the game. And then the comments under that tweet, made me to start thinking. That tweet generated so many comments and a lot of persons expressed how tough things are, the political situation being unstable, no one is sure of tomorrow, and clearly speaking, it gave me perspective. So generally, it's a very difficult time for Nigeria, for the country, for the people. So football, perhaps, would have given us some sort of succor. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And that is why you can imagine the justification for not showing up. Because a lot of persons are saying, we turned up against Ghana, it was a major disappointment, we don't want another heartbreak. And lo and behold, it was exactly the same like against Ghana. So it's a generally poor situation. And of course, for the team, also in a very bad state. And understandably so, there's been absolute instability. Coaches have been changed. And we have the same result, even worse. So generally, it's not a good time.
I've spoken to a few Nigerian journalists about this Nigeria situation, especially with the Super Eagles. And it also comes down to coaching and just how poor the team has been in the dugout for a while now, from Gernot to Augustine and then your current coach. And just some of the poor decisions these coaches have made because you have superstars in that team. There's no way you're not scoring against Guinea-Bissau, to be honest.
Absolutely. And that is why a lot of us are still stunned. Because before the game, we were very optimistic, hoping that this new set of players will bring us some joy in a time where the country is in a very, very under a dark cloud, so to say. But we have seen that we are not even progressing. We are not even stagnating. In my opinion, we are walking backward. Because Gernot Gore seemed to have built some kind of stability.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting very beautiful. He wasn't putting up beautiful performances, but he was getting results. You look at the statistics of Gernot Gore, you will not want to blame him. You actually want to blame those who fired him, especially at the time they did. We were in the thick of qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah.
You fired him, and we know, if you look at Gernot's record, he qualified for the World Cup for Nigeria with games to spare. He's a master in qualification series. But we fired him, brought in a Guavoin, a disaster happened. We sacked the Guavoin, brought in Jose Peserio, and it's even looking worse. Okay, losing to Guinea-Bissau, I mean, you can't even explain it. It's unbelievable. Of course, we've lost to Central African Republic in the past. So we have seen worse, actually, under these three coaches.
My guys in the studio just can't. I mean, they are having a laugh at your expense.
I know you guys are trying to rub it in.
But also some inside information that I got was how the NFF are owing some of these coaches. And
thank you for bringing this up.
Yes, and just how it's affecting, the coaching, it's affecting the NFF, it's affecting the players, because then there's too much noise, negative vibe around the team.
Yes. Absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct, and that is also the biggest of the problem. They say everything rises and falls on leadership. Nigerian football lacks visionary leadership. Even from the time of the very braggadocious, ebullient Amaju Pinnick, it looks like too much talk, no action. Before Amaju assumed duty as the NFF president, we had same problems of unpaid bonuses. Even players were old, coaches were old. Amaju came and was making noise about how the NFF would be self-sufficient, how all of those problems will be put away. Amaju supervised an NFF board that old players, old coaches, old everyone. And he has handed that same
besides him.
culture.
They weren't owning him anyway.
Sorry, come again?
I'm saying they owed everybody but him.
Exactly. And he has handed that same culture of owing everybody to the new NFL president. And this current coach is being owed 10 months' salary, even though he tried to deny it. We all know that he has not been paid for 10 months. And when you look at all this, you can now understand what is happening on the pitch. I was in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia, speaking with Judy Gallo, one of the veteran Nigerian strikers.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
And he said, yes, that football goes beyond what happened on the pitch. Whatever happens off the pitch will reflect on what you find on the pitch. And that's what we are seeing with Nigeria. It's a case of absolute shambles, absolute disarray. And the result is what you are getting on the pitch. Look at what Morocco is doing. The result on the pitch reflects work off the pitch. You cannot cheat your way all the time to success.
What do you think, before I let you go, briefly, what do you think will be the way forward for Nigerians now? Because, I mean, we consider, and we don't just consider, Nigeria is a superpower in African football.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
what's happening is worrying, even though we'll make light of the situation. It really is worrying, because if we have the numbers in the next World Cup, would rely on super quality, and Nigeria is one of the countries that Africa would rely on to make us proud. Yes, and at the moment we are just not seeing that happen.
Yes, I think the way forward, I will focus more on the team now, because that's more important, so that we don't waste time.
Yeah.
The way forward, in my opinion, is either the manager starts thinking, starts working. I think the manager is lazy. Do you know why I say this?
No, tell me.
After the disaster of Abuja against Ghana, and he was employed. What I have seen is the same of the same. When a new manager comes, he's supposed to come with a breath of fresh air, with new ideas. And that new ideas will mean some new players, right?
Yeah.
We have not seen a lot of that in the new national team.
But do you have that? Do you have that in your national pool anyway? Because this is not club football. Do you have the availability of these players, quality players that he can call up new players?
Of course, bro. Listen, as I speak to you, there's a guy called Junior Boniface.
Okay.
He is the second highest goal scorer in the UEFA Europa Cup. He's been amazing. He's an excellent footballer. What he brings is different from what everyone in the team has. I am shocked that the coach didn't even call him. In any serious country, when a player does well for club, he is rewarded with a call up to the national team, especially a national team begging and crying for a change. This manager hasn't taken advantage. There's Gift Orban. He scored 3 goals in less than 5 minutes in the Conference League for Ghent. This coach ignored him. And look at our goalkeeping department. You saw how you qualified for the World Cup because of a terrible goalkeeping by Nigeria. That same guy is the first choice.
Why do you have to bring that back? Why do you have to bring that back, Omar?
Because you guys were gifted.
Gifted. Omar, you are still in pains.
So the guy is the #1 goalkeeper. A coach who is working. You can't tell me that you can't scout the whole of Nigeria. If you go to Europe and bring a below-average goalkeeper, why not just look in the league? You can't tell me you're not going to find some very talented boys in that Nigerian Premier League. So you can see the manager is lazy. That's where we start from. The manager needs to walk or go away so that we get someone who wants to walk. You need to rejig the team. If you keep calling the same players and they're not doing well, these players will not see any reason to want to put their lives on the line. They know that they will get called up again. Again, everything rises and falls on leadership. The leadership of the Nigerian national team is poor. Imagine that we're even rotating coaches. Have you heard that? Because some coaches will come for a match and some will come for the next match. It's a shame what we have right now as a football federation and as football in general. It's a shame.
All right, Omar. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time here on Sports Ultras. We'll definitely
for allowing me to vent all my anger.
Now you are a more peaceful person. We like you this way. But lately I've seen your rants on Twitter though. You're calling people out. I like that.
Thank you.
But yeah, Omar Akatugba is a Nigerian sports journalist based in Europe and of course covering everything football, not just for the Super Eagles, but European football. Would definitely bring him back on Sports Ultras. Thank you very much, Omar. All right, so we'll be doing boxing in a bit, but for now, back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Timothy, calling from America.
Okay, let's hear you, Timothy.
Yeah, Thierry, I seriously, I'm in support of what your female panelist says concerning the DIU issue.
Okay.
I think we still need the DIU in the squad.
Kelvin is losing.
Definitely, there's something that he will bring on board that maybe somebody might not bring. So we seriously need the DIU still in the squad. And secondly, I think the Black Stars, no matter how, though we are missing some key players who are injured, but still I believe that the Black Stars will come out with a 3 points. That's my thought.
Okay, thank you very much, Timothy. The players are injury and back. Anyway, hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, JR.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is James from Kaswa.
Okay, James, let's hear you.
But I'm very sad to talk to you this evening.
Oh, why? What's happening?
I want to talk about the DIU issue.
Okay, let's hear you.
I think Rome was not built in a day. So you should do it small. So we just don't retire someone like that.
Okay.
But let me take this opportunity that on the Friday I lost my job. So I want to use this opportunity to advertise myself, please. If there's any job opportunity.
Why are you doing
055-8010-990.
Yeah. James, just put your number out there again.
055 8010
055 80 10 990. Okay, James.
But James, what do you do? You didn't let us know.
You didn't tell us what you do.
Yeah.
I used to work as a security guard.
Okay.
But I'm attending university weekend.
Okay.
So only job, please.
Okay.
I want to hear from.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll help you put the number out there. Thank you very much for joining us here on Sports Ultras. Okay. So, another caller. Hello, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
KNUST Kumasi.
Oh, please come again. All I heard was KNUST.
Yeah, I'm Dennis and I'm calling from KUST Kumasi.
Okay, Dennis, let's hear you.
Okay, so I think even though your pundits, have their opinions on the DIU's issue, but I think he should be kept in the Black Stars for one or two reasons. Because if you look at every spine, the spine of every national team, most of the times they have a player that has been in the national team for a long time and knows how the national team is going. I'm talking about experience. So when you talk about experience, we need the DIU in the Black Stars. But for footballing reasons, like playing from minute 1 to minute 90, no, I don't think the guy should be kept in the Black Stars if you look at it from that point of view. But also, I think when his attitude too has become a problem, even though he puts up a very good attitude when playing or when he's playing the game, but when he's off the pitch, if you look at the game we played recently against Angola, after the game, when the players were going around to appreciate the fans for coming, the AYEW didn't participate in that. And right after the question was gone or was blown, he went into the tunnel and didn't participate in that. I think that one too, even though you are a team captain and sometimes disappointment comes, but you don't have to show that kind of attitude on the pitch. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good evening, and where are you calling from? Okay, we lost that caller. You can call back. And he did. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, your name and where are you calling from?
This is Frank.
Okay, Frank, let's hear you.
Concerning the DIU issue, I think I agree with what Aniela said. Even though he can't be the spine again, we should find a way of maybe bringing him in and out of the team when there is a game ongoing, maybe last 15 minutes, last 10 minutes, but just freezing him out of the team, I think can bring some, confusion, just like that, a more than issue.
Okay, thank you very much, Frank. Another call on the line. Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from? We lost him there. All right. The calls are coming through 0208 227 290 0592. That's 928795. Another caller on the line.
Hello,
where are you calling from?
This is Media. Calling from Media. Yeah.
Media calling from Media. Oh, yeah. I remember you, Media. I remember you.
Yeah, last week, you remember, right?
Yes, I remember. Yeah. Let's hear you.
Okay, so I think, just as Aniela said, the DIU, even though sometimes very precarious in the style of play, I believe it's very instrumental because sometimes when you need that particular player to do that magic for you, sometimes it comes to the party. So I think it should not be taken entirely from the team. That would be very unfair because how he has served the country for quite some time. So I think they should still maintain him. Maybe he will not play the entire 90 minutes, but at least he should play some, at least.
Okay. Thank you very much. But you see, here's the thing. If you want to retire someone slowly and the person also feels very capable of starting every game and playing 90 minutes, that's where you begin having issues. some of the messages coming through. Captain Mole says, more fire, Oti. Charity Busa says, listening and watching you live from Achim Osino. Thank you very much. Marcus El Gran says, if true, we need this kind of discipline in our team. We should pump hands on that. What if true? Oreku is in Morocco and still joining us. I love that. He says, come to the party, Oti go kill me. If you come from Guinea-Bissau, you are called Bissau Guinean, or better still, Bissaka. Marcos Elgran says opportunity for the remnants of this team devastating by injuries to some of the key players. Sports World says Aniela spot on with the DEDE AYEW issue. Shouldn't be the spine, but should still be around. We saw how Samajan reacted when he was frozen out. We shouldn't make it a similar issue. We are rebuilding this team, and what we don't need right now is another dressing room drama. But last night, Richard Comey was on the canvas again. But he signaled to the referee he can't finish the job. Yeah, Fosulabi has all the details. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it looked like a stamina issue. I mean, because to retire in round 11, it just tells you that at some point
he was that close.
Yeah, he was really close to finishing the bout. But I mean, he was flustered. He looked like someone who couldn't just go on any longer. And I think that this idea of new age boxers being able to concede at a certain time in the boxing ring is really good. I mean, the thing is, if you can't continue anymore, why then do you have to? I mean, there are so many boxing enthusiasts who are not happy with this idea of quitting, so to speak, and just throwing in the towel at a point where you know that you just can't continue anymore. But this has helped a lot of boxers stay in good health. There are quite a number of boxers who have decided to go on and something bad has happened to them in their lives. And so, I mean, I wasn't surprised with the Richard Comey result. I was surprised actually with the length that he went in that fight. I didn't expect that he would go into round 11, and he was able to do so. So I mean, I was particularly impressed because Jose Ramirez, if we are facing facts, is a better boxer than Richard Comey.
Really, the Mexican,
really skilled. His stamina was all right. He just scored 100 marks in the ring, and I just expected Comey to march up. Comey marched up to a certain point, but then he just couldn't. And so, I think that the only positive from this fight is that Comey has put Ghana back on the map. A world title shot again. There will be Isaac Dogbe who will come back and fight
in
again
in just a few days.
And so let's just hope and pray that Isaac Dogbe can actually pick up the world title again. But for Comey, I mean, he's going to earn a lot of money. I mean, $500,000 from the fight alone.
He's my friend. I need to contact him again.
Before there will be before there will be pay-per-view money that would come. And so everything should take him close to $1.3 million, and that's how much he's earning from the fight. And so, I mean, and
this is a junior welterweight.
It's a junior welterweight title. And the thing is, I mean, I know Comey is not going to end here. Comey has always been a resilient boxer. And so hopefully he kicks on and gets a few more bouts and see where that takes him. I still think that he still has one title shot in him. Hopefully he's able to garner that confidence in himself and go ahead and get it. But I'm still praying. I'm praying for him coming and praying for Isaac Dogbe as well, because we really need that world title again. I mean, Ghana has been without a world title since 2021 or 2020, so it's been a while. And so hopefully Isaac Dogbe brings the title.
Okay. Tamimu says, I love the show. Anointed Prosper says, I love Sports Ultras. Thank you. Joshua also says, I love the show. Thank you all for loving the show. Valerie Jamson says, I'm enjoying the show. Pakwesi Emisa says, nice show, but let's not forget to talk about the under 23s we have. Kwame Sego says, when do you broadcast on TV? It's a radio show. We only bring the visuals to you, a live stream of this on Facebook. Matthew Designer says, watching you live from South Africa. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. So now to the predictor. We'll do this in 5 minutes. Are my predictions ready? We all predicted some games coming up later this week. And I promise you, we'll be recalling last week's. Okay. So these are the games that we have predicted. So this is mine. I predicted that Ghana will beat Angola by 2-1. Ghana under 23 beating Algeria by 2-0. That was a rather bold one. Germany beating Belgium by 2-1. Now Kai Havertz is out. And who scores the goals? Manchester City beating Liverpool by 3-0 by weekend. And then Bayern Munich also beating Dortmund by 3-1. Tuchel should do his thing. So these are my predictions. Let's see what the others mentioned. Bill, where are you? Can I mention your predictions?
Mention it for him.
No. I want you to mention it. Own your own story. And from next week, I promise, we'll dedicate 10 minutes to the predictor, and then we'll be recalling what we did or the predictions we gave the previous week, just so we measure ourselves. So, Bill.
Yeah, I think Ghana will draw with Angola 1-1, but the Black Meteors will beat Algeria by 2-1. Germany will defeat Belgium 2-1.
Okay.
City Liverpool. I want Liverpool to.
You want?
Yes.
Or you are predicting?
I'm predicting and I want. Liverpool must lash City for us.
Okay.
Yes. 2-1.
Okay. I see where your bias is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Bayern 3, Dortmund 1.
Okay. I think that's the only one. Okay. Maybe then the Germany one, I agree with you there. So Oreku is not here. So I would mention Oreku's for him. Angola drawing 1-1 with Ghana. Ghana under 23 beating Algeria by 3-1. So I'm not alone in that prediction. He says there'll be a draw between Germany and Belgium. Manchester City lashing Liverpool 4-2. And Dortmund beating Bayern away from home. When was the last time this thing happened? Hey, Oreku. Bayern Munich, then they lose to Dortmund for house like that too. This is the Allianz Arena. Anyway, let's move. There's Kelvin and Kawa to come. Kawa.
So I'm also going with Angola, Ghana 1-1. Ghana under 23 beating Algeria by 2-1.
Okay.
Germany, Belgium 2-2. I mean, Germany are not that good now anyway. Man City beating Liverpool by 3-1 and Bayern winning against Dortmund.
You know the only difference here I see?
Yeah.
Germany, Belgium.
Yeah.
That is the only difference between your prediction and mine.
Yeah.
Everything is the same.
Yeah.
If you just score lines.
Because I think Belgium have what it takes to trouble Germany. But Germany will be a bit more resilient because they are playing at home.
Yeah. All right. Kelvin, please. Okay, Aniela is not here. So an Arsenal fan should do it. I won't do it for Aniela.
Well, Angola won.
You are too noisy.
Angola going to lose to Ghana by 2-1. The under 23 losing to Algeria by 1-0. Hey,
Aniela, don't come back to the studio. Don't come back to the studio.
Germany to Belgium 1. Man City will defeat Liverpool 3-2, and then Bayern will defeat Dortmund 2-1.
Okay, so that's Aniela's. Kelvin, yours.
So mine, yes, Ghana will defeat Angola 2-1 tomorrow. Yes, I'm confident. I'll be here with live commentary for you tomorrow. And then under
4 p.m.
Yes, 4 p.m. Under 23s, the Meteors will defeat Algeria 3-0 flat. Germany 2, Belgium 1, and then Man City will be beaten 3-2 by Liverpool, and then Bayern 3, Dortmund 2.
Okay, so the predictions by Kelvin as well. And like I said, next week we'll recall these predictions, and then we'll make sure that we hold everybody accountable per what the results have been by the time we meet again. Bill, you're saying?
I'm saying Liverpool. Liverpool. I beg. Me pacho. Title nation musim. City my.
But do you know you face Man City yourself?
I don't care. My own be say Liverpool. Shamo. Klopp. The other year United na yenu Albion. Yenu Albion.
Except this is Pep Guardiola. We are trying to 6 hours. Well,
Thierry, yes, Asante Kotoko currently they are still down. Yes, sure. Mediama having a field.
You know, it was almost as if you needed to whip yourself up for this particular one. Like
no.
Yeah. Asante Kotoko, yes, sure. It's like you want to ginger yourself because now Vimo form.
Say
yeah, Kotoko.
No. Yeah, Mediama are winning. Mediama are winning in Kumasi.
But we all know that.
So 18 more minutes to be played in Kumasi. And Hartlepool yesterday they lost. Adriana today unfortunately couldn't have a victory in Doma to extend, or do I say extend their lead, but at the top 2-2 it ended. But I think this is a message to our teams. What we saw yesterday on our screens from Enyinase was terrible. Richmond Ayi and Hatofuk. What was that? So now we have no explanation. What was that theory?
All right.
Patrick Razak did the same thing. It worked for him.
My producer say that we must wrap up.
So in wrapping up, our clubs must stop these kind of primitive things and do the needful.
It's terrible,
and we are being mocked outside.
Yeah, and this is one of our biggest clubs.
Look at this.
So if you want to know what the guys are talking about, just join us on our stream.
They won't do the needful. Look at the two jerseys, the players.
Join us on our stream.
There is Sonia Asogli Power on one. The other one is blank. How? They won't look at this. You see,
no. How did this happen?
It's happened. It has happened. Yes, it's happened, and I think we should move beyond that. It's not just Asufu Kotoko do it, or some of the other clubs do it. It's bad.
On that note, we end Sports Ultras. My name is Thierry Nyan. I've been in the studio with Yao Fusulabi Yao.
Yeah.
Final words?
No, I mean, I don't have any final words. I just hope that the Black Stars beat Angola on Monday. Then it makes us comfortable going into the next two games.
Okay, Kelvin?
Yeah, I think we should all, for all those in Kumasi and Ghanaian fans, how much you turn up for the Black Stars with all the love. For the under-23s, I even think the gate fees are very low. 10 cities, 20 cities. Please turn up, show some love to the Black Meteors. We haven't qualified for the Olympics since 2004.
By Bill.
In Chris Hutton, we trust.
Thank you. Also, we're joined by Aniela Alote and then Michael Otieje also passed through. This show has been produced by David Kofite, birthday boy, birthday man, Mr. Agapi. Today he's doing a bash with his pastor and the choir of Agape and the ushering team as well. He's in a lot of groups there. Mr. Cute from the digital team was also the man on the beat, on Facebook and on Twitter as well. Kweku tweet. Michael did a fabulous job helping us stream this particular show. Nana Kweku Anderson has also been part of the production. Kudos to the technical team and to everyone that's joined us via Facebook or Twitter or called us and listened or watched, the show on any of the platforms. We'll catch you same time next week.